At minus 45 degrees Celsius, the air burns your lungs with every breath, and exposed skin freezes in minutes. Snow flies sideways across an empty horizon where no trees grow and no mountains stand to break the storm. In this brutal landscape, survival depends on speed, skill, and a shelter that can stand against nature's fury. Within less than an hour, a circle of wood and wool rises from the snow. What looks like a simple tent is actually one of the greatest survival inventions ever built. A portable fortress perfected over thousands of years. For modern survivalists and preppers, this ancient structure offers powerful lessons. Every piece of it was designed for extreme cold, violent wind, and total isolation. This is how the legendary felt tent known as a Gers turned a frozen desert into a livable home. The shape that defeats the wind on an open plateau, wind is the first enemy. Without trees or hills to slow it down, winter storms race across the land with terrifying force. A square building struggles in such conditions. Wind slams into flat walls, creating pressure on one side and suction on the other. This force can lift roofs and rip structures apart. The Gers avoids this danger through its shape alone. Its circular walls allow wind to slide smoothly around the structure rather than collide with it. The conical roof pushes wind pressure downward instead of letting it lift upward. The stronger the wind blows, the more stable the structure becomes. For survival design, this is a crucial lesson. Nature rarely attacks in straight lines, so the strongest shelters avoid sharp edges. The round form reduces stress on the walls and keeps the structure grounded during blizzards that would destroy ordinary shelters. A flexible wooden skeleton, once the foundation circle is marked on the snow, the skeleton begins to rise. The walls are made from collapsible wooden lattice panels that expand like an accordion. These panels form a ring of crisscrossed wooden slats filled with diamond-shaped openings. This lattice wall is deceptively strong. When snow piles onto the roof, the weight travels through dozens of intersecting joints instead of pressing on a single beam. The load spreads evenly across the structure and down to the ground. Even more impressive is the way the pieces are joined. No iron nails hold the frame together. In extreme cold, metal becomes brittle and can snap under stress. Metal also conducts heat outward, allowing warmth to escape. Instead, the joints are tied with strips of rawhide. These leather ties are wrapped while wet. As they dry, they shrink and tighten, forming powerful connections that stay slightly flexible. When strong wind hits the tent, the structure does not resist rigidly, it flexes and moves. This ability to bend absorbs energy from the storm instead of breaking under it. Modern survival shelters often rely on rigid frames. The Gers shows that flexibility can be stronger than brute strength. The crown that locks everything together, the most dramatic moment during construction, comes when the roof ring is raised. This wooden ring sits at the very top of the structure and forms the center of the roof. Long wooden rafters extend from the walls up into this ring like spokes on a wheel. Each rafter is carefully curved and fitted into place. Once the final rafter is locked in, the entire frame becomes a compression dome. Gravity now works as a powerful binding force. The weight of the roof pushes downward, which tightens every joint in the frame. The heavier the snow on the roof, the tighter the structure holds together. Strong ropes made from horsehair wrap around the upper wall. These ropes prevent the walls from spreading outward under pressure. Horsehair has remarkable survival qualities. It resists moisture, tolerates extreme temperatures, and remains durable for years. When snow weight increases on the roof, tension in these ropes increases as well, strengthening the walls automatically. This is ancient engineering at its finest. The structure becomes stronger precisely when conditions become more dangerous. Felt that creates warmth from moisture. The wooden skeleton alone offers no protection from deadly cold. The real magic lies in the thick felt that covers it. Felt is made from sheep wool that still contains natural lanolin. The wool fibers are soaked, compressed, and rolled tightly into large mats. Traditionally, these wool bundles are dragged behind galloping horses for miles across the steppe. The friction, pressure, and movement force the microscopic scales of the wool fibers to interlock. The result is a dense fabric that cannot easily be pulled apart. Each felt sheet can be several centimeters thick. Multiple layers are wrapped around the frame. The thickest pieces cover the northern side of the tent, which faces the harshest winter winds. But the real secret lies in how wool interacts with moisture. Wool naturally absorbs water from the air. When this happens, a chemical reaction releases heat. This means the felt walls generate warmth when humidity inside the shelter increases. Human breathing, cooking steam, and boiling tea all add moisture to the air. The wool absorbs that moisture and slowly releases thermal energy. This process turns the walls into a massive thermal battery. Instead of trapping cold moisture like modern synthetic fabrics, wool allows vapor to pass through the walls and escape outside. The insulation remains dry and effective during long storms. In extreme cold environments, breathable insulation can be more valuable than airtight materials. A perfect natural heating system, at the center of the shelter sits the most important survival tool of all, the stove. Fuel is rarely wood on the treeless steppe. Instead, dried animal dung becomes the primary energy source. When compressed into dense blocks, this fuel burns slowly and produces steady heat through the night. The shape of the tent helps circulate that warmth. Hot air rises from the stove and meets the curved dome of the roof. Instead of staying trapped overhead, the air flows along the roof's curve and travels down the walls before returning toward the center. This natural circulation eliminates cold corners inside the tent. At the top of the roof ring sits an opening that acts as both chimney and skylight. A felt cover can be adjusted using ropes to control airflow. Open it too much and heat escapes. Close it too tightly and smoke builds up. Managing this opening becomes an essential survival skill. When balanced correctly, the tent stays warm while remaining properly ventilated. A layout designed for survival, the interior of the Gers follows strict rules developed through centuries of living in confined winter spaces. The door always faces south. This protects the entrance from the brutal northern winds that dominate winter storms. Opposite the door sits the warmest area of the shelter. This space is reserved for elders and honored guests. It is the farthest point from drafts and receives steady heat from the stove. The western side stores tools, saddles, and equipment used for outdoor work. The eastern side holds cooking gear and household supplies. These divisions prevent chaos inside a small space where families may remain trapped for weeks during severe storms. Even time can be measured inside the tent. Sunlight entering through the roof ring moves slowly across the interior walls throughout the day. This shifting beam allows residents to track the passing hours without mechanical clocks. Mobility is the ultimate survival strategy. Perhaps the most powerful survival feature of the Gers is not its strength, but its mobility. In about an hour, the entire structure can be dismantled. The lattice walls fold flat, the roof poles bundle together, and the felt coverings roll into heavy mats. The entire home can be loaded onto pack animals and moved to a new location. In harsh environments, permanent buildings can become traps. If food runs out or grazing lands disappear, a fixed home becomes useless. A portable shelter allows a family to follow resources and avoid disaster zones. Mobility also protects the land itself. By moving regularly, the grasslands have time to recover from grazing livestock. This keeps the ecosystem healthy and sustainable. Lessons for modern survivalists. For anyone studying survival design, the Gers offers a masterclass in practical engineering. The circular structure defeats wind. Flexible joints absorb stress instead of breaking. Natural materials provide insulation that breathes and generates heat. The interior layout maintains order during long winters. And the entire system can move when conditions demand it. Nothing about this shelter is accidental. Every detail evolved through centuries of trial and error in one of the harshest climates on Earth. In the end, the real genius of the Gers is its philosophy. Survival is not about conquering nature. It is about understanding it, adapting to it, and moving with it when necessary. That wisdom kept families alive in temperatures that would destroy most modern camps in a single night.